Space does not scream when it tears, but every soul aboard the USS Enterprise feels it. One moment, the stars burn calmly at warp. The next, reality fractures like glass. Sensors fail, time stutters, and out of the rupture between universes, figures emerge who were never meant to exist here. A man who flies without engines, a warrior who carries the weight of ancient gods, a shadowed tactician whose mind feels sharper than any computer. Starfleet has faced godlike beings before, but never heroes, never legends forged by a different moral gravity. And as alarms echo through the Enterprise, one truth becomes terrifyingly clear. The Justice League has entered the Star Trek universe, and the Prime Directive may not survive the night. The Enterprise drops out of warp with a violent shudder. Red alerts flash across the bridge as Lieutenant Uhura grips her console, struggling to stabilize communications that suddenly seem to be receiving signals from nowhere and everywhere at once. Captain Kirk stands, eyes fixed on the main view screen, where a swirling distortion coils through space like a living wound. Spock's voice cuts through the chaos, calm but edged with disbelief. The readings are impossible, energy signatures unknown to Federation science, matter behaving as thought, probability bending. Then they appear. 7 silhouettes emerge from the anomaly, suspended in vacuum as though space itself has chosen to hold its breath. One of them glows with restrained power, cape drifting slowly, eyes scanning the stars with wonder and concern. Another floats effortlessly, crimson boots leaving no trail, vibrating slightly, as if time itself struggles to keep up. A woman in armor grips a shield older than this galaxy's wars. Emerald light forms symbols in the void around a man wielding a ring that hums with willpower alone. Starfleet has encountered Q. They have faced the Organians. But this feels different. These beings are not observers. They are not tricksters. They are soldiers. Shaped by loss, Kirk orders hailing frequencies open. There is no response, only a sudden flash as one of the figures vanishes and reappears meters from the Enterprise's hull. Scotty nearly drops his drink in engineering as sensors scream intrusion alarms that make no sense. No transporter beam, no warp signature. The man simply arrived. Batman stands on the hull of the Enterprise, magnetic boots anchoring him as he studies the ship with surgical precision. His cowl scans relay data faster than Starfleet's computers can process. He is already adapting, already planning. Somewhere in the void behind him, Superman turns his head sharply, hearing voices from light years away. Klingon warships, Romulan scouts, the hum of 1,000 civilizations. This universe is loud. Wonder Woman drifts closer, her expression grave. This place feels wrong to her, too clean, too ordered, stripped of the myth and chaos that once defined the stars. The Flash vibrates nervously, feeling timelines layered on top of each other like misaligned heartbeats. Green Lantern clenches his fist as the ring struggles to interpret laws of physics that never existed where he comes from. Aquaman feels it too, the absence of oceans, the emptiness between worlds pressing in on him like a deep-sea trench with no bottom. Inside the Enterprise, Spock's eyes narrow as logic strains under the weight of new variables. These beings radiate power levels rivaling starship weaponry, yet their posture is defensive. Protective, not conquerors. Explorers, perhaps, but armed with convictions sharper than phasers. Kirk makes the call. He orders transporters to lock on. Nothing happens. Superman turns toward the bridge, sensors locking onto Kirk's voice before it even reaches space. He raises a hand, not in threat, but in greeting, and speaks. His voice carries without sound, vibrating directly through the hull, through minds. "We don't know how we got here," he says, "but we're not your enemies." The silence that follows is heavier than vacuum. Spock steps closer to Kirk, lowering his voice. "Captain, these individuals violate every known limitation of biological entities. If they remain, the balance of power across this quadrant, perhaps this galaxy, will be irreversibly altered." Batman's voice cuts in next, cold and precise, transmitted through systems he should not be able to access. "You're a military organization pretending to be explorers. Your rules are built to contain yourselves, not us." That lands like a disruptor blast. Kirk straightens, defiance flaring. "This is a Federation starship, and no matter where you're from, you will respect our laws." Wonder Woman meets his gaze through the view screen, her eyes ancient and unyielding. "And if your laws allow suffering to continue because intervention is forbidden?" The Prime Directive hangs in the air, suddenly fragile. Before Kirk can answer, space ripples again. Long-range sensors light up as a Borg cube drops out of transwarp, drawn to the anomaly like a predator to blood. Its attention shifts instantly from the Enterprise to the figures outside the ship. Superman's jaw tightens. He feels it. The hunger, the collective will to consume, to strip individuality away. Batman already knows what this enemy represents. The Flash swallows hard, hearing billions of future screams branching into possibilities. Starfleet has faced the Borg before. They barely survived. Now the Borg have found gods. And the Justice League, standing between two universes, must decide whether this galaxy's rules are worth obeying or worth breaking. The Borg cube advances without hesitation, its surface crawling with mechanical life, green energy veins pulsing like a heartbeat. On the Enterprise bridge, red alert intensifies as tactical screens struggle to keep up with the sudden shift in power dynamics. Kirk feels it instinctively. The rules have changed. This is no longer just Starfleet versus the Borg. This is something the Federation was never prepared to command. Superman moves first, drifting forward until he hovers between the cube and the Enterprise, cape billowing in solar wind that doesn't exist. His eyes glow faintly as his senses probe the vessel. What he finds chills him. Billions of minds stripped of hope, bound together in a cold unity that feels like a prison masquerading as purpose. It reminds him of worlds he failed to save, of voices he still hears in the quiet. The Borg hail them, not with words, but with intrusion. Data floods the League's minds, attempts to catalog, to quantify, to assimilate. Green Lantern gasps as his ring flares violently, erecting a barrier of emerald light around the team. The ring's voice stutters, confused. Unknown technology, unknown biology, threat level, undefined. Batman's mind is already racing ahead of the invasion. He/She studied hive intelligences before. Apocalypse, Brainiac, Ultron, different names, same sickness. He opens a secure channel to the League. They're not attacking yet. They're studying us. That means we have a window, seconds maybe. The Flash vibrates, barely holding still. Yeah, well, their future paths? They're bad, like galaxy-ending bad. Every version where we don't act right now, people die, a lot of them. On the bridge, Spock turns from his console, struggling to reconcile logic with what he's witnessing. "Captain, the Borg are reallocating power to adapt to the individuals outside the ship. They are evolving in real time." Kirk clenches his fists. "All hands to battle stations. Prepare photon torpedoes." Before the order can be fully executed, Wonder Woman's voice echoes through the ship, steady and commanding. "Captain Kirk, these beings do not negotiate. They conquer. If you hesitate, they will take your world apart, piece by piece." Kirk bristles. "You don't understand our laws." "I understand war," she replies. "And I understand mercy wasted." The Borg cube fires first, not at the Enterprise, but at Superman. A beam of cutting energy lances through space, calibrated to dissect and adapt. It hits him square in the chest. For a heartbeat, the universe holds still. Then Superman absorbs it. He grits his teeth as the beam disperses across his skin, pain flaring but not breaking him. The Borg pause. Their calculations spike. Adaptation routines rewrite themselves. "That's their mistake," Batman mutters. "They think pain equals weakness." Superman surges forward, crossing the distance in an instant, and slams into the cube with enough force to dent its hull. The impact sends shockwaves rippling through subspace, throwing the Enterprise sideways. Consoles explode. Crew members are thrown from their stations. Kirk struggles to his feet, staring in awe and horror as a single man physically fights a Borg cube. But the Borg respond. Nanoprobes fire in clouds, swarming Superman's body, attempting to breach his cells. He screams, not in fear but in rage, as he feels them trying to rewrite him, to strip away Clark Kent and leave only a weapon. "No," he growls, "not again." Wonder Woman charges, her sword blazing as she cleaves through Borg drones that begin to emerge from the cube's hull, adapting thrusters and weapons in seconds. Each strike is precise, brutal, fueled by centuries of battle. Aquaman follows, summoning pressure waves through space itself, manipulating gravitational currents like tides, crushing drones into scrap. Green Lantern constructs massive restraints, wrapping the cube in chains of pure will. "You want unity?" he shouts. "Try going through me." Inside the Enterprise, Spock watches the readings spike off the charts. "Captain, these individuals are engaging the Borg directly. Their intervention is preventing assimilation of this sector." Kirk's jaw tightens. Every instinct tells him to let them fight, to let them save lives Starfleet can't. But the Prime Directive screams in his mind, a warning etched into his command. Batman appears on the bridge in a blur of displaced air, having breached the ship's defenses effortlessly. Security officers raise phasers. Uncertain, he raises his hands slowly. "You don't have time to debate philosophy," Batman says. "That cube adapts in minutes. In hours, it adapts to your entire civilization." Spock studies him closely. "You operate under a different ethical framework." Batman meets his gaze. "We operate under reality." The Borg cube begins to change shape, armor shifting, weapons recalibrating. It's learning, fast. Superman tears free from the nanoprobes, heat vision carving deep scars across the hull. But he can feel it, the Borg are already adjusting to him. To all of them. And somewhere deep in the collective, a new conclusion forms. These heroes are not anomalies, they are assets. And the Borg will not stop until they are claimed. The Borg cube's interior lights flare brighter, systems realigning with ruthless efficiency. On every deck, drones turn their heads in unison, eyes glowing as the collective processes a singular, chilling truth. Assimilation is no longer about expansion. It is about survival. These beings represent a future where the Borg do not dominate, and that cannot be allowed. Inside the Enterprise, Spock's fingers move faster than human sight as he recalibrates sensors to track fluctuations in Borg behavior. "Captain, the cube is diverting power from propulsion to adaptation matrices. They are preparing a countermeasure specifically tailored to the Justice League." Kirk exhales sharply. "They're building weapons in real time." Affirmative. Outside, the Flash circles the cube at near luminal speed, red lightning stitching through the void. He can see the future branching violently, timelines where the Borg learn to trap him, to slow him, to break the Speed Force's grip on him. He skids to a halt beside Superman, breathless. "They're figuring me out," he says. "We can't drag this out." Batman's voice crackles through the comms. which means we end it now. Wonder Woman hears the unspoken cost in that sentence. Ending it now means breaking this universe's rules. It means choosing certainty over restraint. She looks toward the Enterprise, toward the fragile ship full of people who still believe in procedure and patience. Their laws were written for mortals, she says softly, not monsters. The Borg strike again, this time with precision. A focused pulse erupts from the cube, warping space itself, pinning Green Lantern's constructs in place. His ring flickers as unfamiliar code tries to crawl inside it, rewriting the very concept of willpower into something collective. No, 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 he grunts, sweat beading on his brow. Get out of my head! Aquaman roars, channeling pressure so immense that even space bends, but the cube barely budges. Adaptation completes. The Borg have found a way to resist. Superman feels it then, the moment slipping away. He remembers Krypton, standing powerless as a world died because intervention came too late. He will not let history repeat itself. "I'm ending this," he says. Batman's reply is immediate. "Then do it clean." Superman flies straight into the cube, not crashing, not attacking, entering. For an instant the collective touches him fully. Billions of voices flood his mind, trying to crush his individuality beneath endless sameness. Pain, unlike anything, has known tears through him as nanoprobes surge, rewriting themselves faster than his cells can reject them. On the bridge, alarms spike as the cube's energy signature destabilizes. Spock's eyes widen. "Captain..." The Borg vessel is experiencing internal structural collapse. Superman pushes deeper, every step fueled by will, by memory, by the stubborn belief that people deserve to choose who they are. He releases a controlled burst of heat vision in every direction, not to destroy but to overload. The cube screams in electromagnetic agony. Wonder Woman closes her eyes and whispers a prayer to forgotten gods. Then the cube detonates. The explosion is blinding, silent, absolute. Debris scatters across space like dying stars. Shockwaves ripple outward, rocking the Enterprise but leaving it intact. When the light fades, the cube is gone. So is Superman. A hush falls over the battlefield. The Flash stares at the empty void, heart pounding. No, 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 no. Green Lantern's constructs drop as he falls to one knee, exhausted. Aquaman turns away, fists clenched. Wonder Woman floats motionless, grief etched into her features. On the bridge, Kirk grips the railing, stunned. A single being just destroyed what Starfleet has feared for generations and paid the ultimate price. Spock breaks the silence. "Captain, I am detecting residual energy." Superman's life signs are diminished but present. A streak of light pierces the debris field as Superman emerges, battered, cape-torn, body smoking but alive. The League exhales as one. He drifts back toward them, eyes heavy with the weight of what is done. "They won't be coming back," he says quietly. "Not like this." Batman nods once. "You crossed the line." Superman meets his gaze. "I know." The Enterprise moves closer, tractor beams stabilizing debris. Kirk opens a channel, his voice no longer defiant, just honest. "You saved this ship, this sector. Maybe more," Kirk says. "But your presence here, it changes everything." Superman looks at the stars, at a galaxy balanced on fragile ideals. So does inaction. Spock studies him with something dangerously close to respect. Your actions violate the Prime Directive. Yet, they preserve the conditions that allow it to exist. The question hangs between them. What place do gods have in a universe built on restraint? The aftermath drifts slowly, like cosmic dust settling after an unseen storm. Debris from the Borg cube glitters across space. fragments already being catalogued by Starfleet sensors, though none of them can fully explain what just happened. The Enterprise glides forward carefully, not as a warship now, but as a witness. Superman floats silently beside the League, listening to the galaxy breathe. He can hear civilizations that will never know how close they came to extinction. Klingon outposts still shouting challenges into the void. Romulan vessels cloaked and watching. 1,000 lives continuing uninterrupted because a line was crossed. On the bridge, Kirk finally exhales, the weight of command pressing harder than ever before. "Open a secure channel," he says. Visual. The view screen fills with the image of the Justice League, suspended in space like figures from an impossible myth. For a long moment, no one speaks. Starfleet protocol offers no script for this. "I won't pretend this didn't violate everything we stand for," Kirk says at last. "But I also won't pretend you didn't save lives we couldn't." Batman steps forward slightly. "Your rules slow you down, but they also keep you from becoming what you fight. That's not weakness." Spock tilts his head, studying Batman with renewed curiosity. An intriguing assessment. "You operate as a corrective force rather than a governing one." "We're a last resort," Batman replies. "You call us when the math stops working." Wonder Woman meets Kirk's eyes. "Your prime directive is built on hope that civilizations deserve to grow without gods deciding their fate. That is a noble belief. But hope without action can become cruelty." Kirk absorbs that, his jaw tightening. "And what happens when you decide wrong?" The question cuts deep. Superman steps into view, his voice lower now, quieter than before. "Then we live with it. Every day. That's the price." Before Kirk can respond, Uhura's voice breaks in, tense. Captain Long-Range sensors just lit up. Multiple vessels emerging from cloak. Romulan. The view screen shifts as sleek warbirds slide into visibility at the edge of the debris field. Weapons powered, shields raised. Their commanders have seen everything. The Borg's destruction, the gods and the stars. A transmission forces its way through. The Romulan Praetor appears, eyes burning with calculation. "Federation vessel," he sneers. "You have concealed weapons of unimaginable power. You will surrender these beings into Romulan custody." Immediately, Kirk feels the trap snap shut. If he refuses, it risks war. If he complies, he hands over sentient individuals to an empire that will dissect them piece by piece. Batman's voice hardens. This is where it goes bad. Green Lantern's ring flickers as he floats forward. They're scared, and scared empires do stupid things. Superman looks at Kirk, searching his face. "We won't let your war start because of us. That may not be your choice," Kirk replies grimly. The Romulan ship's power weapons, energy levels spiking. The Enterprise raises shields in response. One wrong move now could ignite a conflict spanning decades. Wonder Woman grips her sword. "They intend to take us by force." Spock's fingers hover over his console. "Captain, Romulan tactical capability exceeds ours by a factor of 3. Engagement would be illogical." Kirk stares at the stars, then at the heroes who have already bent his universe once today. He makes a decision no Starfleet manual prepared him for. "Justice League," he says, voice steady. "If you stay, this galaxy will bleed for it. If you leave, history may never forgive me for letting you go." Superman nods slowly. "Then we leave." Batman turns sharply. "Clark, they're not ready for us," Superman says. "And we're not here to rule." The Flash swallows, looking at the Romulan fleet. "They're gonna chase us." Superman's eyes harden. "Let them try." Green Lantern raises his ring, pouring willpower into a construct that begins to shape itself like a doorway carved from emerald light. Not a portal exactly, something more unstable, stitched together from two universes straining to touch. The Romulans fire. Phaser and disruptor fire streaks through space as the League moves as one. Wonder Woman deflects blasts effortlessly. Aquaman shields the Enterprise from a barrage that would have crippled it. Batman launches countermeasures that blind Romulan targeting systems without destroying a single ship. And then the rift opens. A tear in reality yawns wide, echoing with energies that make Starfleet sensors scream. Superman looks back one last time at the Enterprise, at Kirk, at a future still fragile but intact. "Protect it," he says softly. The League vanishes into the light just as the rift collapses, space snapping shut like it was never broken. Silence returns. The Romulan fleet hesitates, suddenly uncertain, their quarry gone. On the bridge, Kirk lowers himself into his chair, heart racing. "Helm, set course away from here." As the Enterprise turns, Spock watches the stars where gods once stood. "Captain," he says quietly, "today the Federation was judged by beings beyond our comprehension." Kirk nods. "And we survived the verdict. But somewhere beyond space and time, the Justice League is not done yet. The rift seals with a soundless finality, leaving behind nothing but scattered starlight and unanswered questions. The Romulan warbirds linger for several tense seconds, weapons still charged, commanders recalculating, a future that no longer makes sense. Then, one by one, they disengage, slipping back into cloak. Whatever they just witnessed, it has frightened them more than provoked them. Aboard the Enterprise, the bridge feels smaller now, the air heavier. Kirk stares at the view screen long after the last Romulan signature vanishes. He knows the reports will be torn apart by admirals, philosophers, and politicians alike. There will be inquiries, quiet warnings, official denials. Starfleet will say the anomaly was classified, the Borg encounter routine. But the crew will remember. Spock breaks the silence first. "Captain, long-range sensors indicate residual quantum echoes consistent with interdimensional displacement. The Justice League has exited our space-time continuum." Kirk exhales slowly. "Let's hope they found their way home." Far beyond Federation space, beyond subspace and known dimensions, the League hurtles through a corridor of collapsing realities. The Emerald Gateway Green Lantern forged is fraying, tearing at the edges as universes grind against one another. Every second inside it feels like falling through memory itself. The Flash clutches his head, visions flickering uncontrollably. "Okay, bad news, this tunnel, it's not stable. I'm seeing timelines where we don't come out the same way we went in." Batman anchors himself against the pull, grappling lines biting into nothingness. "Focus." We hold formation. Wonder Woman reaches Superman's side, gripping his arm. She can feel how close he came to losing himself inside the collective. "You carry their voices still." Superman nods faintly. "I hear echoes. Silence where there used to be people." He clenches his fists. "I ended them, but I felt them end." Aquaman's voice rumbles through the distortion. "This place has no sea, no life, it resists us." Green Lantern strains, his ring blazing brighter as the construct begins to fracture. "I can't keep this open much longer. The universes are rejecting each other." Batman's eyes narrow behind the cowl. "Then we don't force it, we aim." The Flash looks at him sharply. "Aim where?" Batman inputs calculations at impossible speed, triangulating emotional constants rather than coordinates. "Home isn't just a place, it's a frequency. Lock onto our universe's signature." The ring reacts, recalibrating, its light stabilizing just enough. The corridor twists violently, threatening to tear the League apart molecule by molecule. Superman closes his eyes, focusing not on power, but on memory. Kansas skies, the Daily Planet bullpen, Lois heartbeat, Earth. Now, he says. The corridor collapses inward. The League is hurled out of the rift like shrapnel from a dying star, crashing through Earth's upper atmosphere in streaks of fire. They land across continents, impact tremors rippling outward, controlled, restrained, practiced. They've done this before. The watchtower alarms scream to life. Batman is the first to rise. Systems already rebooting. Status, alive, Flash groans, pulling himself out of a crater, which feels like a win. Green Lantern exhales shakily. Universe check. Yeah. This one's ours. Superman floats above them, looking down at Earth. Familiar, fragile, safe, for now. But something is wrong. He feels it in the silence between heartbeats. A subtle imbalance, as if the universe itself flinched when he crossed back. Wonder Woman senses it too. The boundary was weakened. Batman's jaw tightens. You don't cross universes without leaving fingerprints. Across the cosmos, in a realm not bound by Federation law or DC physics, something ancient stirs. A consciousness older than the Borg, older than the Guardians. It has felt gods pass through forbidden doors. And it is curious. On the Enterprise, days later, Spock stands alone in the observation lounge, gazing at the stars. Kirk joins him, hands clasped behind his back. "Do you believe they were heroes?" Kirk asks quietly. Spock considers the question carefully. "I believe they were a variable beyond control, yet they chose restraint when dominance was available." Kirk nods. "That's what scares me." Spock turns to him and reassures me. Light years away, Superman stands on the watchtower, staring into space, hearing the faintest echo of a collective that no longer exists, and something else, watching from far beyond. The universe has learned something, and it will not forget. The night over Earth is quiet, deceptively so. Cities glow like constellations turned inward, unaware of how close reality came to rewriting itself. From the watchtower, the planet looks peaceful, earned, fragile. Superman remains at the viewport long after the others have gone, listening, not just to Earth but beyond it. Space feels different now, thinner, as if the universe remembers being touched. Batman breaks the silence, his footsteps deliberate. You're still hearing them. Superman doesn't turn, not voices anymore, more like scars, where something used to be. Batman studies him carefully. "You made a call out there, one Starfleet wouldn't have made, and one they couldn't afford." "Two," Superman replies. "Their universe is built on restraint. Ours is built on response." Batman's voice lowers. That difference is exactly why crossing over was dangerous. Before Superman can answer, the watchtower shudders. Alarms flare, not red but unfamiliar, tinted with colors no spectrum should hold. Diana appears instantly, sword in hand. Flash skids in a heartbeat later, eyes wide. "Okay," Flash says, "so either the universe just sneezed, or something followed us home." Green lanterns ring pulses violently, projecting warnings it can barely translate. Unknown cosmological presence. Non-corporeal. Non-linear. Classification. Impossible. Batman's displays flood with data that refuses to stabilize. "It's not entering our universe," he says. "It's overlapping it." Across space, stars dim, not extinguished, but observed. Reality bends subtly, like a surface under pressure. Superman feels it fully now. Not hunger like the Borg, not cruelty. Curiosity. A voice echoes, not through sound, but through existence itself. "You crossed a boundary," it says, and returned. The League stands together instinctively, a formation forged by countless battles. Wonder Woman steps forward unafraid. "We did not seek dominion." "No," the Presence replies. "You sought choice." And in doing so, you revealed a truth. Space twists, forming a vast shifting silhouette, something closer to an idea than a being. It is older than civilizations, older than gods. In one universe, it continues, law restrains power. In another, power restrains chaos. You are the bridge, and bridges attract travelers. Batman's eyes narrow. You're saying this doesn't stop with us. Nothing ever does, the presence answers. Your action prevented annihilation. It also proved that absolutes can be challenged. Superman clenches his fists, not in anger, but resolve. We won't let you use that as permission. The presence seems to smile. You already have. The stars return to normal. The pressure lifts. The voice fades. Silence. Flash finally exhales. I'm gonna need a very long vacation. Green Lantern lowers his arms slowly. That thing wasn't a threat. No, Batman agrees. It was a consequence. Wonder Woman sheathes her sword. Every act of justice echoes. Across worlds. Superman looks back at Earth, then out into the endless dark beyond it. He understands now. The Federation's fear, the Prime Directive, the danger of gods walking freely among stars. But he also understands something else. Hope is not passive. Far away, in another universe, the Enterprise cruises peacefully through warp. Kirk stands on the bridge, unaware that a cosmic observer has marked his reality as interesting. Two universes continue on, changed but intact. The Justice League remains on watch, not just over Earth, but over the idea that power must always answer to conscience, no matter the universe it stands in. Because once gods cross the stars never forget. And somewhere, beyond time and space, the question lingers. Not whether it could happen again, but whether next time, either universe will be ready. The world does not feel the change immediately. That is the cruelest part of cosmic consequences. They ripple quietly before they roar. Days pass on Earth, then weeks. The Justice League resumes its watch, but every patrol feels heavier, as if gravity itself has increased by a fraction no instrument can measure. Superman hears disturbances not as cries for help, but as distortions, signals that shouldn't exist, probabilities misaligning, moments repeating just a little too long. Batman notices it first in data. Crime statistics remain normal. Global conflicts follow expected patterns. Yet satellite telemetry shows micro-variations in space-time curvature, localized and brief, always vanishing before they can be studied. Ghosts in the mouth. It's like the universe is clearing its throat. Flash mutters during one briefing, staring at graphs he doesn't fully understand but instinctively distrusts. Green Lantern's ring confirms it. Intermittent. Dimensional harmonics detected. Source unknown. Frequency matches. Crossover residue. That word hangs in the air. Crossover. Wonder Woman closes her eyes, sensing beyond science. The veil between worlds has been thinned, not torn but stretched. Superman knows what that means. Stretched things snap. The first incident happens in deep space, far from Earth. A distress signal echoes briefly across known galaxies before vanishing. Not human, not alien, not current. By the time the League arrives, all they find is a region of space folded inward, like reality forgot how to exist there. Batman studies the anomaly in silence. This wasn't an invasion, he finally says. It was a leak. Flash swallows. From where? Batman looks at Superman. Superman already knows the answer. Another universe. The next leak is closer. On Earth, a research facility studying experimental energy sources experiences a blackout lasting exactly 46 seconds. When power returns, every digital clock reads a date that never happened. Every camera records a shadow moving against the flow of time, and one terrified scientist insists she heard voices speaking in perfect unison, cold, curious, unfinished. The League arrives too late to stop it, but not too late to recognize it. Superman stiffens. That felt like the Borg. But wrong, Green Lantern adds quickly. Fragmented, incomplete. Batman's fists tighten. Echoes don't stay echoes forever. Far away in the Star Trek universe, the Enterprise encounters its own anomaly. Spock stands rigid at his console as sensors detect something impossible, technology signatures similar to the Borg, yet distorted by physics that do not belong to their reality. "Captain," Spock says carefully, "this phenomenon appears to be an afterimage." Kirk frowns. Afterimage of what? Spock hesitates. Of intervention. The anomaly collapses before further study, but the implication lingers. The Borg are gone, but the idea of them has bled into the fabric of space. And ideas are harder to destroy than machines. Back on Earth, Superman stands alone in the watchtower, staring into the dark. He understands now what the ancient presence meant. Bridges attract travelers, not conquerors, not heroes, survivors. Batman joins him, cape still, voice low. "This is the cost you were afraid of." Superman doesn't deny it. "I would make the same choice again." "I know," Batman replies. "That's why we have to be ready for the next one." "What if next time it's worse?" Superman asks quietly. "What if something crosses over that doesn't hesitate?" Batman meets his gaze. "Then we stop it, like we always do." But even he sounds less certain. Across universes, something is learning, not the Borg, not Starfleet, not gods or men. Something that watched heroes break rules and survive. Something that now understands that universes can touch and endure. And that realization is far more dangerous than any single enemy. The stars remain calm, for now. The calm does not last. Weeks later, in orbit above Earth, the Justice League detects a distortion unlike any before. It hums, resonating with frequencies that feel wrong in every sense, like the memory of a war that never happened, but whose consequences are bleeding into reality. Superman hovers at the edge of the anomaly, cape fluttering, senses strained. He can feel billions of possibilities vibrating through the air, futures folding on themselves, echoes of universes that may never exist. Wonder Woman steps beside him, sword drawn, eyes scanning the void. "This is not random," she says. "Someone or something is testing the boundaries." Green Lantern constructs a scanning array, the emerald light shimmering violently as it bends against the distortion. "It's adapting," he says, voice tight. "Every time we measure it, it changes. Every attempt to contain it is futile." Batman crouches on the edge of the watchtower, analyzing patterns at impossible speed. No AI, no conscious race. This isn't a threat we can see, fight, or predict. It's a consequence of the last crossover. Residual energy, memory, willpower. Flash spins in a blur, stopping mid-air, so it's like the universe is angry at us? Superman shakes his head, not angry, curious, testing us. Diana tightens her grip on her sword. Curiosity has teeth. The distortion suddenly spikes, pulling at the watchtower itself. Gravity twists, corridors elongate unnaturally, and time seems to stutter. For a fleeting moment, the League feels themselves scattered, each pulled towards separate strands of reality. Superman steadies them with his strength. Green Lantern reinforces the hull with will, and Batman issues orders in precise commands that keep them tethered. Then, a voice, neither male nor female, neither human nor alien, resonates through their minds. "You have crossed thresholds that were not yours. You have seen beyond the walls of your universe, and you survived. Tell me, why?" Superman steps forward, floating toward the center of the distortion. Because we protect life, not just in one universe, but wherever it matters. That's why. The presence is silent for a moment, as if weighing his answer. Then the distortion collapses abruptly, leaving a calm that feels unnatural, almost hollow. Batman studies the data again, frowning. It's learning. Everything it observes becomes a variable in itself. Flash shakes his head. Great. So, the universe is alive now, and mad at us? Wonder Woman speaks quietly, reverent. Not mad, challenged. It wants to see how strong we are. Superman looks out towards space, a shadow of unease crossing his face. Then we have to be ready, not just for the threats we know, but for the ones we can't even imagine. Somewhere beyond sight and comprehension, across uncharted dimensions, the presence lingers. Observing, calculating, patient, and it will not wait forever. The watchtower hums with tense silence. The League gathers, each aware that the calm is temporary, a fragile pause between waves of consequence. Superman hovers near the viewport, staring into space. That now feels alive with possibility, aware that their actions have left marks no one can erase. Batman moves first, voice low and deliberate. We've crossed universes. We've faced gods, machines, and cosmic presences. Every time we survive, but survival alone isn't enough. We need strategy, contingency. Wonder Woman nods, her sword resting lightly against her shoulder. This universe, and the others, they are watching us, testing the boundaries of morality, of power, of restraint. We can't be caught off guard again. Green Lantern's ring pulses as he runs complex simulations in real time. The distortions are unpredictable. Every measure we take adapts, shifts, changes. If we rely solely on brute strength, we risk destabilizing entire realities. The Flash taps his forehead, vibrating nervously. So, brains and brawn, that's new for us. Superman turns, eyes meeting each of them in turn. It's more than that. We've learned that choices echo across worlds. One wrong decision can resonate like a shockwave through time and space. Batman steps closer. And now, everything we do is being measured, not by enemies we can see, but by forces we cannot comprehend. If we fail, it won't just be our world that suffers. A deep silence follows, filled only by the watchtower's subtle hum. Each of them feels the weight of responsibility heavier than any battle scar, heavier than any villain they've faced. Then, unexpectedly, the disturbance returns, less violent this time, a ripple instead of a storm. It brushes against the edges of the watchtower, testing them. The League responds instinctively, a choreography honed through decades of teamwork. Superman stabilizes, Green Lantern reinforces, Wonder Woman deflects, Flash monitors, Batman calculates, Aquaman senses. And together, they anchor reality itself. The presence speaks again, not as a threat, but as an observer. You have proven resilience. You have demonstrated choice. You have survived the consequences of your crossing. But the bridge you have formed remains fragile, and curiosity always finds a way. Superman stands firm, voice resolute. Then we will meet it head-on. We protect life, all life, no matter where it is. The presence retreats, leaving only the faintest echo in the fabric of space-time, a reminder that the universe remembers. The watchtower steadies, and the League exhales collectively, knowing the calm is temporary, but also knowing that they have endured. Batman finally speaks, his voice carrying quiet authority. We've crossed the line, but we've done so responsibly. That is our duty, and it will remain our duty whatever universe we stand in. Superman looks out toward Earth, then at the stars. We've learned something crucial. Power without conscience is dangerous. Conscience without power is impotent. The balance, that's our responsibility. Wonder Woman adds softly, and we will carry it together. The stars beyond Earth continue to shine, unaware, yet forever changed by the passage of gods among them. The universe is watching, it is learning, and somewhere, far beyond sight and comprehension, the consequences of a single choice ripple quietly, shaping destinies across realities. The Justice League stands together, resolute, unyielding, ready to face whatever may come, not as conquerors, not as saviors, but as guardians. The lesson is clear. Once you cross the boundaries of worlds, the echoes never fade. They carry wisdom, they carry danger, and they carry hope. For wherever heroes walk among the stars, the universe will never forget. The story of the Justice League entering the Star Trek universe is more than a tale of crossover spectacle. It is a meditation on responsibility, choice, and the weight of power. Across realities, the League demonstrated that true heroism is not just about strength or victory, but about restraint, conscience, and the courage to act when the rules of one world may not apply in another. They faced forces beyond comprehension, defied impossible odds, and navigated the delicate balance between intervention and respect for the natural order of the cosmos. Their journey shows that every action reverberates through the fabric of reality, leaving echoes that shape civilizations, challenge ideals, and test morality. Heroes may cross universes, encounter godlike powers, and confront unimaginable consequences. But their guiding principle remains: to protect life, uphold justice, and bear the responsibility that comes with unparalleled power. In the end, the Justice League stands as a bridge, not merely between worlds, but between choices and consequences, reminding us that courage is measured not by the battles we win, but by the wisdom with which we wield our power. Their presence, fleeting yet indelible, leaves both universes changed yet hopeful. And though the universe watches, learns, and remembers, one truth endures: where heroes act with conscience and purpose, hope will always find a way.